3, 2, fun. It's the Chatcast. Welcome. I'm Will Cates. This is Austin Bagwell, and we're here to talk to you.
About nothing. I didn't realize you were waiting for me on that. Sorry. I totally threw. Wait. Let's do it again. I'm just kidding.
From the top.
Like
there's a crew here.
It took me a second to realize that fun was rhyming with one.
Yeah.
It's late.
It doesn't
It's
rhyme.
late.
And it's also lame. It's late.
No. It's good. It's totally good. How are you, man?
I'm
How you
really
been?
good.
Yeah.
I am now 29.
29 years old. Yeah, you celebrated a birthday last week.
My last year in the 20s.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. And you're 34. I was going to suggest 32, and then the next guess was probably going to be 34.
No worries.
But do you ever look at, this is a ridiculous way to look at your life, but look at it in chunks of like almost like fractions? Like, oh man, 1/4 of my life has now been completed. Or something like that.
It's interesting you say, it's interesting you asked me that.
Doing.
I don't know if you saw that. My eye just quit working for a second.
Oh, that's cool.
It's interesting that you asked me that because yesterday, Austin and I were talking about if you could go back in time to your 20-year-old self with all the knowledge that you have today, would you do it? And I told her, no, I wouldn't, because I know I would spend that time trying to find her just to say, hey, you don't know me, but we're married and have a baby and a dog and raise chickens in a house in North Carolina. You'd probably look at me like I was a crazy person.
Yeah.
But the reason
you want the same thing, you want to still be with her, of course.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I bring that up because that was 14 years ago.
Wow.
From 34 to 20. That's how I think of it. I don't think of it in the way of like fractions or anything, because you don't know when you're going to die.
You're thinking more milestone.
Not necessarily milestones,
okay.
just like
highlights.
When I was 14 years old, from 0 to 14, what was life like? And then from 20 to 34, what was life like? It was still 14 years either way.
Wow.
But
I think that I have this, not a fear, but, sort of like a fear of like how fast time travels, and that's a common fear.
Sure.
I would say my number one fear is time. I really, because
this concept that we barely understand is terrifying.
It freaks me out.
What about time specifically?
I would say the fear that we're so often thinking about something that's about to happen.
Sure.
It's so important to like root yourself in the moment. And we've talked a little bit about, savoring the moment and stuff, but just how quickly time flies when you aren't really, especially when you're having fun. That expression, I believe, time goes fast when you're having fun. That Absolutely. Is so true. But like, I just remember everything so well. And
you're one of the few. So there's aspects that I think I understand.
Yeah.
So when you get into a routine, like a daily routine, do you feel like
that makes it fast, in my opinion?
Yes. So that's what I was going to say. So as an adult, you get into a daily routine. Do you feel like your life is moving faster as an adult than it was as a kid?
Yes.
Okay. I agree. I feel I have the same inclination.
And it scares me.
Well, and I'm sorry that it scares you. It really shouldn't. But you've kind of hit the nail on the head where it's like you need to be more conscious of what you're doing, like more grounded, because that's when time slows down. Like it starts to.
So true.
It starts to slow down for you. And I've thought about this topic or this a lot, and what I've come up with is more or less as a kid. You may have a routine of like, okay, I get up at 6 a.m. every morning and I go to school at 7:25 and I'm in school until 3 and I get home at 3:30. Yes, you have that routine, but you don't necessarily know what you're doing every day at school. Like, yes, you got math class and gym and so on and so forth.
You don't know what
but you don't know what you're doing.
Tonight we're going here. And you're like,
right.
Okay, yeah.
So there's an element of the unknown, but as an adult, you are in control for the most part of all of your time. Now, obviously, if you're at work,
then I have that fear. Am I using it how I?
Well, and that goes back to a couple podcasts ago. We were talking about starting a business. That's part of the reason why I started one, to be in control of my own time.
True that.
And there's a lot of happiness that comes with that control.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe it's because another adult isn't telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because I don't know what I'm going to be doing in a couple hours. It's those levels of unknown that I really enjoy, and that's kind of why I really enjoy things like backpacking and camping and stuff, because for the most part you don't know what's going to be around the bend. You don't know if it's going to be another hiker, a beautiful view, a black bear. You don't know. Like it's going to be, it could be anything.
The unknown is fun. I know what you're saying. Or like the not planned stuff is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's, I think that is sort of what I was. You hit it right there, because I feel like I don't like knowing. I don't like really waking up and knowing how my day's going to go, which is silly, because that is what an adult is knowing what you need to sort of do that day and what you're going to be doing. And I don't want to know. And that drives me nuts.
You made a comment when we were eating dinner before the podcast, and my daughter was sitting on the table in her bumbo seat, and you were looking at her. You asked us, do you guys ever just stop and just look at her?
Yeah.
And I responded with, no, I got stuff to do. and you brought it.
And I knew the answer was yes, but that was a really great answer, because that's the only way we can have a baby.
It's exactly right. And you made a good point. It's like, oh yeah, you're doing all the stuff that keeps her alive. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. But there are times where I catch myself just staring at her, just. I walked outside a couple nights ago, and I just stood in the backyard. There was nothing particularly special going on. There wasn't like a full moon or anything like that. But it was just moments. I needed to just be still. Yeah. And I chose to go out in the backyard, and I just stood there in the dark by myself, just being. And I think
it's important. That's awesome.
It is when there's no input from like the phone or TV or computers or even people, and you're just there. I have caught myself. So we've got chicks in the garage right now, out in the brooder.
Nice.
And we've got 3 from a friend of ours.
A new batch, right?
We got them. They were less than a day old when we got them. So they were born. Tiny. They were born on a Monday, and we got them Monday afternoon. Wow. And we've had all 3 for, I think they're 2 weeks old now.
And they're walking around now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They walk around. They're not like people babies. People babies are pretty much useless. Animal babies, they got it figured out.
They're ready.
That's how they don't get ate. But I will find myself just watching them do chick things. Just watching them be chicks, like.
Gosh, guys just want to watch chicks, man.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Well done. I like that. That was well put. So keeping on the topic of these really abstract things that we don't quite fully understand, I fully believe that cyclists, 1, don't believe in physics, and 2 would make the best kamikaze pilots in World War II for the Japanese, because they will go downhill, full on into traffic, into another vehicle with no concept of their own safety.
Bro, look, when my brother, he is a cyclist, and when he got into it, I tried very hard not to be the worrisome mother, because I was the worry wart growing up. So now, I did fun stuff and reckless stuff, but typically I was overly scared of something happening to him or a friend or my loved ones. I was always very worrisome. I, for some reason, didn't worry about myself, which was weird.
So what were you worried? What were you worried about specifically? Were you worried about him like getting hit by a car?
Yes,
or
it was mostly other people, because he has been racing motocross. He grew up on motorcycles. We grew up on bicycles. We grew up skateboarding. Anything with wheels we were about. And I was never worried about his prowess. I'm really happy I said the word prowess.
That was really good.
Later, I'm going to think about that. I did that. But he is still on the road with idiots.
So I'm going to go ahead.
Or with other cyclists who can be idiots, and I have a story for that.
Okay, good, because I have several.
Okay.
So just for definition's sake, when I'm saying cyclists, I mean like the people who are on busy highways.
Yes.
That are 2-lane. They've got like a helmet with a mirror sticking off their helmet. They look like Inspector Gadget with their little mirror so they can see.
I don't think he's got. I wonder if he's.
And then they're wearing like their spandex sex suit. You know what I mean? Like they're looking sexy in their spandex. I'm
a little jealous of the
sex
suit
suit.
I can't rock it.
Yeah, they got their clip-on tippy-tappy shoes. And if you or a friend loves cycling, that's fantastic. I'm very happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Don't be the person that I'm about to describe. Okay, so
because he'll go on a rant about other cyclists,
and that's fine. I mean? He may be the best, most considerate cyclist.
He's
the person I'm about to speak about, and the several other observations of other people, are not the best cyclists.
I'll tell my story too because it's reckless.
Okay, so I was driving to work. This was last week. It's been a couple weeks since we recorded the podcast, so I've had time to sit and stew on this. And I actually tried to put myself in that cyclist's shoes and like give them the benefit of the doubt. And I could not logically come up with anything that would make this person do what they did. Okay.
All right.
So we're on a 2-lane road.
Okay.
So it's one going north, one lane going south. And there's very little traffic, at least at this point. So I'm just out of my neighborhood. I'm behind this cyclist. I can see him. He's got the little flashing red light on the back. Great, I can see you. Awesome, that's great. But I can't quite pass him because he's not in the center of the lane, but he's also not near the fog line.
And
he's in that like quarter on the right. Well, so
is he on the left of the line? So
He's in the lane. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's not next to the fog line. He's like a quarter of the way into the lane. But there's just enough traffic coming the opposite direction that I can't get around him.
And even if there wasn't a lot of traffic, it's definitely a tight squeeze. It's too close for comfort.
That's not something I would do personally. I'm fine with sharing the road. That's okay. And it'll make more sense going on. So just bear with me. Bear with me. So I'm behind him, and I'm behind him for a solid 2 or 3 miles, when somebody is riding a bike, it seems like forever when you're in a car.
True.
Okay. So there's less and less traffic, and just to the point where there's enough space in the traffic on the opposite direction for me to go around him. There is a turning lane coming up, and he actually signals that he's going to be turning right. And I'm like, oh, perfect. You know, I'll stay in this lane. I don't have to move over anything. He's going to be getting into the right lane. Good to go. Not a problem.
Can you do a hand signal?
Yeah. So instead of using that actual turning lane, this particular individual decides that he's going to weave out further into our lane of traffic
to do a wide turn?
To take a wide
but he's not
freaking
in a big
turn.
Vehicle.
He's not in a vehicle. He's on a bicycle. I had sped up because I saw the turning lane. I'm like, this person's going to do what any normal human being is going to do and use the turning lane. Nope. I'm going to go wide. And I had to immediately slam on my brakes.
Oh, dude.
So I didn't hit him.
Yeah.
And then he just pedals on about his merry way.
Unaware that
completely unaware that I'm driving a 3,000-pound vehicle. Yeah. And in him not using the turning lane and deciding to go wide to take this turn, I almost crushed him. Yeah. I have seen so many situations where for some reason, when someone gets on one of these bicycles, and to Will's brother, hey, I hope you love it. I hope you're getting after it.
I guarantee that. Yeah.
There are some people who get on these bikes and think for some reason physics doesn't apply. That 5,000 pound, 7,000 pound vehicle can stop on a dime. If I just keep going, we're making eye contact, and I'm like, dude, you're on a bicycle. I'm in a car. You're gonna slow down. Yeah. That's not something I'm gonna do. I'm either going 35 or 45 miles an hour. I cannot not hit you.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to be an adult here and slow down.
And
And then they just keep going. And then if you almost hit them, they're looking at you like, oh, this is your fault. Oh, how dare you? I'm like, bro, I should have hit the gas. Dude, I should have just made you a speed bump.
Well, here, the wide turn thing
made no sense. It made 0 sense.
It reminds me of when I'm with Jen, we're parking a car, or just turning into a driveway or a road. Sometimes in my car, if no one's around, I won't.
Sure. Yeah.
I will do an unnecessarily wide turn, and it. She's always like.
But you're also in a car.
Yeah, but it's really fun. But not on a bike where I'm worried. I would if I was him, and I would my first thought is, oh gosh, this guy behind me.
Yeah.
Or because he's got the mirror probably.
He had the mirror.
Okay.
You look like Inspector Gadget.
I think of the one in Spy Kids. Do you remember where it kept expanding?
Yeah.
That thing. I always thought that was cool. Well, it flipped down and then it
just kept going out.
Enhance. Okay. Look, man, he would agree with you that I'm sure, it might even be most, but so many people dive into like a hobby like that and they have no clue what they're doing. Or they are too confident that the whole pedestrians have the right of way, or the whole they are conscious of me. You need to consider that drivers are not good. You have to consider some drivers.
There's consideration that has to be made on both parties.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You make a very good point. So whenever I go over to the island to go to the beach, tourists on those dumb beach bikes, like I've never seen this style of bicycle.
The fat wheels?
No, not the ones that are actually on the sand.
Yeah.
It's like I've never seen this style of bicycle where I'm from. I've only ever seen them out here, and they're like. They're almost. Are
you talking about the ones that reclined?
Yes, they're like a reclining bicycle. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like you can rent them anywhere. Yeah. But these people get on these bicycles, and there's actually a walking path / bicycle lane on the island.
Oh yeah,
and they refuse to use it.
Yeah,
but then they don't obey the traffic laws at all.
Yeah.
And when you make a turn and this ding dong is right there, keeping going, and they're wearing their Ray-Ban sunglasses, just staring at you like, oh, like what are you doing?
Like you're the issue.
First of all, you're the tourist.
Yeah.
Screw off. I'm just going to say it. I'm really mad. I'm really pissed off. I've been sitting on it for 2 weeks. So.
I almost want to get a sticker on my car that says local, but it's not.
Just put the OBX sticker on it. Everybody will know.
Gosh. Everybody's got that
Salt
sticker.
Life or oh my gosh.
You know what? No, I'm going to get my initials monogrammed on.
Oh, jeez. All right. You're like every Southern mother ever. But anyway, people get on a bicycle and for some reason they feel like they're invincible.
Yeah. Well, it's so scary any 2 week. I mean, motorcycles as well, but he was cycling with a group because typically he'll cycle alone, but sometimes he has these group. They'll meet for an actual, like you see on TV.
Yeah.
And someone in front of him, I wish I knew the details because now my story's probably not going to be as good. But someone in front of him did the wrong thing. I want to say didn't signal appropriately that they were going to move over. And, in a group like that, you mess everyone up.
Yep.
My brother broke his collarbone because of this guy in front of him. And who didn't signal, and he ran into him, and I don't know about the other guys. But, I just feel like it's so sketchy. And when Andrew told me he was getting into that, that's my brother. I was like,
there's consideration that has to be made on both parties. So as a driver, obviously you in the car are ultimately.
Oh, you got to consider that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually reminded me of an incident that happened when I ran a half marathon last year where I was like halfway in the pack. I wasn't, towards the back or towards the front. I was right in the middle. And they had the course itself was on the roadway in different portions, like on a 4-lane. And it was blocked off by law enforcement, and they were monitoring traffic and only allowing traffic on. But beyond, so about halfway through the race on the 4-lane portion, cars were coming from the rear. And this race was on a military installation.
Oh, cool.
So what's very common, at least when I was in the military doing PT, is if there was a vehicle coming down the road you were on running PT, you would shout "vehicle from the rear," and that's for everybody in front of you to be aware. Hey, there's a car coming.
Yeah,
and
we did that as kids.
Yeah,
hey, car, and then everyone gets out of the street.
So that's what was happening.
Yeah.
During this is a half marathon with a solid 1,000 people in it.
Oh, it's not
it was
real.
a huge race. It was the
I was
first.
thinking more like 20 guys.
No.
Yeah,
Like this is a sanctioned race. It was the first half marathon since COVID.
Oh, okay.
Because COVID had
everybody came.
Yeah, it was a huge race. It was my first one, and it was massive. It was huge. That was really interesting experience. But anyway, so. A couple cars go by. They're going pretty slowly. Cool. That's we appreciate it. Another car goes by, blasting past. And you're like, dude, there's you. We're in the middle of this group, this huge group. There's other racers. Like chill. But then also, I did notice that there were some runners who weren't getting out of the way. Yeah. Like they were very intentionally running down the center line, dividing both lanes. Mm-hmm. To slow up traffic.
So I don't
and I'm like, I
understand.
It's because people don't want to give up. They don't want to give way. They don't want to be seen as weak.
I would always, my instinct of surviving would take over.
Right. You don't want to get hit by a car. And that's my point.
Yes.
Like that's why I made the joke that
it's ridiculous.
They must forget how physics works because that little bicycle in your spandex sex suit isn't going to protect you from that F-150 coming barreling down the road.
And if you are on the side of the road, right? And you're the guy on the bike.
Yeah.
And what spot is the safest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And maybe we could look it up, but there's got to be for me, and this goes to your story about tourists and stuff. If you have an area that is safer to ride, why not be in that
Yes,
area?
I was thinking about that too. So
I just don't understand that.
The other thing I was thinking about was the time of day he chose to ride.
Was this early in the
morning? Where? Yeah.
Yeah.
The time of day he chose to ride and where.
Yeah.
If you are choosing this route that you're going to ride, and I'm assuming you're timing yourself, you know the distance.
Yeah.
You must know this route. You must know the flow of traffic.
Probably done it before.
You must know the flow of traffic at that time of day on that day. Mm-hmm. Like, it really doesn't make sense. I really don't get it.
No.
I will say this: the weekend before this happened, Austin and I went to a grocery store, and there was a guy walking around in his biking outfit, helmet and all, gloves, in the grocery store.
I don't have the confidence. That's not
true. I don't know if that's confidence, my dude. I think that's a level of you need some friends, man. You need somebody to talk to about this.
So you're saying someone should have told him, hey.
No. What I'm saying is he needs a different outlet than walking out into public.
Oh, yeah.
Into the store. Like if you're actually biking, I get it that you need that for biking. Got that. You're in the grocery store. Throw on some sweats.
Why not?
Put on a shirt. Change clothes. I don't know.
You wouldn't be cycling. I know they can have a little bit of storage. But I would plan my grocery shopping outside of cycle time.
Well, that's my thing. I don't think he was mid-cycling, stopped for the grocery store, and then was keeping. I think he cycled, was done, and on his way home stopped at the grocery store. Well, dude, just throw on a shirt and some shorts to, I don't know, cover your bulge.
You know what's weird is this whole story with the grocery store just now. I imagine for some reason it was a Trader Joe's, even though it wasn't. I'm sure. But it's weird.
We don't have a Trader Joe's around here, buddy. I don't have that kind of money.
For some reason, in my head, that was where you were at. And it just made me
you know what? If it were a Trader Joe's, he probably would have fit in.
Oh, yeah.
But given that it's a Lowe's Foods, he didn't.
Maybe that's why my brain went there.
He didn't fit in. Yeah, no.
I had my first panic attack, I think, I don't know if it was my first, but it certainly was the one I remember the most, but is in a Trader Joe's. It was the first time I ever I'd been in a Trader Joe's.
Did it smell like too much patchouli? What was going on with that?
What's
you don't know what patchouli is?
It's a type of cheese. No,
it's an incense.
It's an incense?
Yeah, you walk into any yoga studio ever, it smells like patchouli, all of them. Patchouli and sweat.
Patchouli sounds like deli meat.
It's actually not a bad smell, but it wears on you pretty quick. I'm going to be honest with you. Patchouli, I can't believe you've never smelled patchouli. I'm going to buy some incense and burn some patchouli for you.
I remember in college we had the incense sticks.
Well, that's what it is. It cover up the smell of weed.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
immediately answered it.
Immediately said yes.
But I'm telling you what, in college, the smell was abundant everywhere.
Oh, totally.
And my roommates, we won't get into all that.
No, you're good. Statute of limitations, bro. Let's go.
But,
dude, Will's about to rat. Let's go. No,
so, the police, I can hear the police now. If you give us names, this will make it easier.
You give us names about who was burning that patchouli.
We know it ain't patchouli. All right, no, I swear it's patchouli. No, all right. Trader Joe's. First time I ever been in one. I walked in. First off, thought Trader Joe's would be bigger. They're small places compared to like
for how like popular they are.
Yeah, I would
agree.
think it'd be the spacious big place. No, it's literally is like. Feels like they are just starting. Like Trader
perpetually starting.
Come on now.
That's really funny.
Like I was in there and I overheard some workers say, "Oh yeah, we ran out of that." Like, why are you running out? I don't know.
Trader Joe's, get it together.
Come on, get it together. Anyway, Efren, the nose stuff. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Efren is a potent.
I honestly thought you were talking about a person.
Oh,
like that was somebody named Efren. Yeah, you know Efren. Yeah.
Epinephrine.
Epinephrine?
Epa, and his last name's Efren.
Efren.
But I used it because I had nose issues. But I was in the car, we were pulling in. I was with my mom and my grandma, actually. And we...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Nose issues?
Some nose issues.
Some nose issues? What kind of issues were we having with your nose? That's so...
I could have said congested.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
You were like... When you say nose issues, Will, okay, all right, bear, you gotta give me this.
Yeah.
When you said nose issues, for some reason, I immediately went to Scarface. He's just like face down in a pile of cocaine.
That's my that's a roundabout way to say that I
got
was.
It was cocaine, everybody, cocaine.
Well, you want me to say that? I had nose issues.
That's true. Your grandma watches the podcast.
I had these bad issues with my nose, so I thought, my mom hands me my dad's Efren.
Gross.
Out of the gross.
Go ahead.
It's all right. I never thought about how gross.
Go ahead.
Okay. You said,
here, son, this is up your father's nose. Thanks,
and
Mom.
What's really
Love
bad is in the moment I was like, "Oh, nice!" With no hesitation,
you put it in like smells like Dad. So weird.
You know what's funny? When I used it, it gave me a little bit of. It made me think of Dad a little bit, like the smell, or I don't know. Anyway, but when I used it, but my mom, when I was using it, she was watching me out. She was driving. She was watching. I was in the passenger seat. She was watching me out of the corner of her eye, and with a slight sort of grin. And anyway, I threw my head back and shot it up my nose. And turns out you're not supposed to use Efren that way. It floods my head with a lot of it.
Yeah.
She starts laughing at me, and I'm like, "What?" She was like, "I knew you would do that."
Yeah.
She watched it happen, and
had you never used it before?
No.
Oh, okay. So you'd never used like a nasal spray before.
I never used it before, and
that's
I was
fair.
just like,
"Hey, Mom, good on you, Mom," because that's hilarious.
It is funny because she said, and then if I would have thought, okay, that is funny. Mom laughing, I get it. That's funny. But then she said, so your heart rate's probably going to go up a little bit.
That's awesome.
And I was like, what? She said, Efren can increase your heart rate.
Yeah.
So we go in this Trader Joe's, and my heart is just bumping so hard.
That's awesome.
And I'm freaking out. You got all these people in this tiny alleyway eating foods I've never heard of, and I'm just like, the whole experience, I was like, why is this place so tiny? Why? And I'm just stressing out in this Trader Joe's.
Wow.
Yeah, and now I know how to use Efren, and also I know that Trader Joe's is kind of like skimping.
It's bougie.
It's bougie, but it's also like thrown together.
Yeah.
Why do I need my own
because
bag?
they want people to have the farmer's market experience, but inside with AC and bougie with patchouli in the background.
Look, I love the farmer's
people having
market.
Panic attacks from Efren standing in the aisleways.
When I have
look, you've got every grocery store has their people, right? So Lowe's Foods has people walking around in spandex.
Yeah. Look, Lowe's food is spandex. Is that what you said?
Yeah. They got bicyclists walking around in spandex.
Yeah.
Food Lion's got people in pajamas walking around.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Would you say Food Lion
Trader
is
Joe's
the
has got
Walmart of grocery stores?
No. Oh man, you know what? No, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Yeah, straight away. Have you ever heard of Ingles?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I wish we had some Ingles out here, dude. Like
I've heard of it.
They're only in the mountains.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we went. It was, I think it was like right around February a few years ago. I think it was like 2018, 2019. We were going to go winter camping.
Yeah.
And we couldn't. So the first camp spot we went to was actually out of season, so it was closed off. Couldn't get to it.
Snap.
And so
due to the weather, or just
no, just because of the season. Yeah. That particular trail wasn't open yet, but we decided to drive to a local town. Got a hotel across the street from Ingles, and immediately when I saw Ingles, I was like, "We're going to Ingles. Let's walk over."
Did you
to
just
Ingles.
walk over? Yeah.
Yes.
Super
Ingles is the best.
Nice.
There is something about that grocery store.
So they're the Target of grocery stores.
No. Target's annoying. I can't remember the last time I was in a Target, if I'm honest with you, bro.
But you
I
gotta
would
admit,
drive
compared to Walmart, though, it's nice.
Oh yeah. That goes without saying. No, totally agree. I will drive 6 hours just to go to an Ingles.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
They've got this brand of I forget the name of the brand.
I haven't been in one. I've just heard of it.
So Ingles is like, it's a really, really, really nice grocery store, but it's not pretentious.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't want to say Publix. Publix is not pretentious.
Okay,
it's not like Trader Joe's or
Publix I've been in, and I like Publix.
Yeah, I would almost equate it to a Publix now that I think about it. Like the layout's similar, but they've got everything.
That's it. That's what blew me away with Publix is they've
got like foreign food, like from Japan. They've got Mexican
food. I sat down and ate a Japanese meal there.
They've got so much, but they've got this little can. So it's a little white can, or I'm sorry, the can isn't white. The paper around it's white. It's got a little red devil on it, and they have there's different kinds of food that this company produces. They make deviled ham, deviled chicken, deviled roast beef. And it's a spread.
I don't know what devil means.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. Thank you. So you know what a deviled egg is?
Is deviled mean stinky?
No,
Any food?
no. I'm going to explain it to you. But you know what a deviled egg is?
Oh, I do know. I know what it smells
So it's
like.
actually not deviled. It's deviled.
It's
Old English.
Cool.
It's Old English. It's deviled, and what it means.
I want to make
what
a scary
it means
movie
is to
called
make
Deviled.
it. It's to make it more savory.
Okay.
Is what it means.
No way.
Yeah.
Deviled.
Deviled. Yeah.
Next time I'm cooking something, I'm gonna make this deviled.
Deviled.
And it sounds horrible, but it makes it better.
Yeah, but everyone calls it deviled. It's deviled. It's usually when you add like vinegar or something like that. It's to make things more savory.
Do you think someone in other places in the country, like, would you say it's a Southern thing to call it deviled?
No, it's an American thing. It's 100% an American thing.
Right.
Yeah. No, we saw that and we're like, we're not saying that. It's deviled.
Yeah. If I go,
this is America. We speak American, and it's devil.
If I go in front of my aunts and uncles and say I brought the deviled eggs, about what?
You brought the what? What'd you say?
Don't mess with deviled eggs, man.
Deviled. Yeah, there's a certain accent. Deviled.
It's how Cruella de Vil would say deviled eggs.
Yeah, or Dijon. Pass the deviled eggs and Dijon mustard. I don't even know what the accent is. I'm just exaggerating. I've actually got a pretty good British accent.
That was good.
I've actually got a pretty good one.
Say something else. Say words.
Say words. Yeah, right. So you say words in an English accent, and people are like, "Well, who's that?" I don't know. It sounds like Austin, but it's not. He's got an English accent.
That's great, dude. What's so good about yours is you don't try to overdo it. It's very casual.
Yeah,
everyone always goes,
blimey, mate, spot a dick in that.
Spot a dick.
So mine is mine isn't really regional. There's different regional dialects.
Yeah.
It's kind of posh, but then I can
people
cut
go really posh
syllables out.
Yeah. Like when you hear people do it, they go really posh with it.
It's like Hermione from Harry Potter.
It's
Leviosa. It's not that. It's more like a Ron Weasley, you know.
Yeah.
It's just really choppy. Bloody hell, mate. What's all that about? That's crazy, that.
She really needs to sort out her priorities.
She really needs to sort out her priorities.
She says, well, you're going to get us in trouble, you're going to get us killed or worse, expelled.
Yeah.
That's a great joke.
I legit had a teacher convinced in middle school that I was from England. She was a substitute.
That's cool.
And every time I had her in the class, I would speak in an English accent the entire time.
We used to mess with subs like that. You pretend to be someone else.
Yep.
I can't tell you some of the things I did. It's pretty shameful when it comes to messing with subs.
Okay, well, now I got to know.
Won't know. It's bad.
Is it because your girlfriend's a teacher?
No, it's more... Every single listener would be like, that's more.
We're going to go ahead and pause the video. Like, George's going to go ahead and click off the video. It's all right. It's all right. I'll speak the rest of the podcast like I'm Russell Brand. I need a beaded necklace, a really deep V-neck t-shirt. V-neck t-shirt.
V-nut pant.
What?
The V-nut?
I was trying to say. Right? Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Moving on. Isn't that what a banana hammock is?
Banana
hammock. There's
one guy on our beach in a banana hammock every year, and he's at least 75 years old.
No. I guess at that age you can get away with it.
I mean, I kind of respect the guy for just saying screw it.
Well, at that point gravity's pretty much taken its toll. Like, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, gravity's kind of yeah. He needs that support to kind of keep everything where it should be, you know. Gravity's just taking hold and gone. Yeah.
Now we're right. We're right back to spandex suits. We went full circle. Oh my god, dude! Look. It's kind of strange if you think about it, how gravity takes hold of us in our age when gravity doesn't change, but our structure changes.
The elasticity of your skin does. Yeah. And it's like,
it's really strange.
Oh, it's so weird. You know, it's interesting you say that. That's a very good point. Yeah. I didn't think of it that way.
Like gravity, you would think it's just you would think your body would get more used to something over time, but instead it's like it's just getting hard.
Yeah, your skin's like, nah, I'm out. By like 65, if you haven't had Botox, your skin's like, nah, I'm done, bro. Good luck.
I want celebs so bad to not do all this stuff to their faces, because you'll see one and you're like, you would have looked great without all that junk.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
there's so much attention put on celebrities, and maybe that's why they're called celebrities. Yeah. Like, I'd love to know the root of the word, because I don't actually care.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't care about any of their opinions about anything about being a character.
I just care about their roles. I get that. I'm not following what celebrities are doing. Like this morning, I woke up and they announced that Millie Bobby Brown got engaged, and I was like, "Isn't she like 14?" It's the Stranger Things girl.
I was gonna say I don't know who that is. That's gonna work out.
But she announced it with a Taylor Swift quote too. If it could be more on brand, yeah.
Jeez, anyway. Talk about teenager. Jeez.
Oh man. But anyway, I was like, I clicked the comics and the comments, and the very first comment was, "Who cares?" And I was like, wow, maybe the whole, and I've heard some celebrities say this, maybe the whole dynamic of celebrity is kind of on the way out, in a way of like where people really, really care about what.
Well, the term influencer has kind of taken over that space.
So now, like
But what does that even mean?
Yeah, true. Nothing. But like, if you Google, like, there's so many actors now are saying that the period of like great movie stars is like sort of over.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that completely.
Because now every single actor can have an online presence. That it used to be these figures
they're
that
like mythical.
Yeah, yes, you would only see them on the red carpet. You would think, what are they doing? Magazines would make up stuff because they don't have stuff to say.
Yep.
And now like, why read?
You see them in their pajamas eating a bowl of oatmeal, and you're like, "Oh, you're just a dude." Yeah, you know, like. Yeah. So I looked up the root of the word celebrity. It's Latin, and then it's
celebrititis.
You're actually not far off. It's celebritas.
Oh,
it started with celebre.
Yeah.
Celebritas, and then Old French is celebrite.
Celebrite.
And then Middle English is celebrity. But what it means is solemn ceremony.
No way.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything like we're using it. Like, So in Latin, it just means frequented or honored.
Now that's a little bit more in line.
I could see the honored bit, but let's be honest here, celebrities are not honorable.
Now, some of them are getting more of a solemn ceremony than others.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of wild.
It doesn't make any sense. That's weird.
It is weird.
But
I think that when I was growing up, I remember just like being really excited about this actor being in this movie.
Yeah.
And I still get that, but now we're seeing a whole lot of movies where they're just bringing an actor you've never seen before. And then I start thinking, well, dang, what's keeping me from being an actor?
I've got actors that I like. Like Tom Hardy, Henry Cavill. There's two. There's probably two of the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But frankly, I don't look at a character and go, oh, he would be great for that role. I hope I see him as that character. I just wait for something to come out, and if they're in it and it looks interesting, cool, good to go. I'll go watch it. Yeah. Like Dunkirk was great.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy was fantastic in that movie, and you didn't see his face once.
Nope.
You saw his eyes, and he was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But he's so and that good. Was it. It was really good.
And Christopher Nolan was like, oh, he killed it as Bane in a mask. He can be this in a mask too.
Yeah, what's interesting is I watched a video recently where Tom Hardy was talking about how much he hated being Bane because he had to get fat.
Whoa!
Because if you look at Bane, he's a big dude, but he's not cut.
Mass,
yeah, it's just mass.
That one photo of him looking in his back is like mountains.
It looks big. Yeah. But if you look and watch The Warrior, Warrior's that's size and shape.
That's true.
Whereas Bane was just mass. It was just big.
I wish I got more excited for fighting like boxing or wrestling movies, but I don't care.
I don't care. I know how it's gonna go.
Yeah,
I'd much rather watch a movie that subverts my expectations. But
for sure,
at this point, I don't want to believe that we're in a societally that we're in a creative dark age.
I don't believe that. I don't think I believe that.
I think that we are though, and the reason I think that as a whole, as society, and the reason I think that is because the amount of remakes.
Dang! Now I'm starting to think
the amount of excitement for remakes.
Okay,
like I would if it were just
it's a slump for sure.
If there were just remakes coming out, I'll go okay. Hollywood's in a creative dark age.
Yeah,
but the fact that people are getting excited for remakes,
that makes it feel like we are now in a It'd be different if you're seeing it a little. I mean, what's really interesting is if you go and look at responses of Marvel trailers and movies, people are now starting to switch gears. They're like, we're over it. Yep. Yeah, and talk about from the highest highs to I mean, that was the thing.
When you have something as big as the last 3 Phase 1 Marvel movies were, and then
there's nowhere to go but down.
That's the thing. You've tied it all together with the big bad guy.
Step away.
Everybody won. At this point, it's gratuitous. And it's like, okay, well, I understand there's thousands of comic books. I understand that. But I don't care. I don't care about any of these people. I will say this. Star Wars has been in that realm as well. Because you've got, I will say, Bad Batch. I don't know if you watched any of the Clone Wars animated show.
I've watched.
Fantastic series. Bad Batch is just as good. But then you've got, which I think is directed by Dave Filoni. I could be wrong. But then you've got Mandalorian. We were talking about that earlier. First season was great.
Oh, yeah.
And because it was like a Western in space. Like
scaled back. It doesn't have to be the Skywalker
it's not this giant thing. But they couldn't wait to get Luke Skywalker into it. And I understand, spoilers, he shows up at the end of the second season, and I've seen the clips.
And of course, I geeked.
It's amazing. It was really well done. It was really well done. It was
then
good.
You're back to that issue.
Then they've got Ahsoka in it now. She's from Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Great character, beloved, but she was also in Star Wars Rebels. Never watched it. What breaks my heart is that you had all of this great source material in the expanded universe and all the books and comics.
And the first thing Disney does when they come out,
they retconned it.
Yeah.
Like Kathleen Kennedy came out and was like, "Well, we don't have any source material to pull from. You have hundreds of books."
I was so mad when she said that.
The Thrawn series is probably the best trilogy I have ever read.
I've heard. And they just announced
so good. Yeah, he's going to be in Ahsoka.
But, dude, I heard that Thrawn is just next level.
It's a great series. It's a great villain. He had no superpowers, but he was like this calculating mind that you could never get in front of.
Batman appeal.
It was so good. It's Heir to the Empire. Oh, man, I don't remember the name of the book.
Heir to the Empire, I remember, was the name of a very good book. But you're so right that there's all these possibilities if they step away from that Skywalker storyline. Yeah. Because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into that too much. And because I think Marvel got into this formula of how they work. And then, when you step out of that and do something different, that's when the really cool stuff happens. And now they've got some big announcements for Star Wars that happened just a few days ago. I'm not sure if you heard about it.
I heard that the actress who played Rey is pregnant, so they are switching to someone else.
Oh no, Rey's been confirmed to get her own movie now. Yep. And I was waiting to see her reaction. But let me tell you the plot. Can I tell it to you?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. She's a Jedi Master now.
Of course.
15 years later, and she's starting a new Jedi Order. She's going to be doing what Luke tried to do.
You understand that he just took Luke and made him a woman.
I wanted to see your reaction. I'm very excited because it's more Star Wars. I'll always be excited for more Star Wars. But check this out. Let me tell you the other two movies. There's 3 movies they announced. So the other movie, Dave Filoni?
Dave Filoni.
Filoni.
Yeah.
He's getting his own movie, and it's going to be the crap. I'll have to look it up. The third movie is actually going to be based. Oh yes, the director of Logan, James Mangold, the director. He also made Ford versus Ferrari. He's getting a Star Wars movie, and bro, it's about the very first Jedi and how the Force was first discovered. That sounds cool. All new.
Is it Star Wars Resistance? Is that what it's called?
Wait. Oh, what?
For Dave Filoni?
Maybe. His movie.
That's the only. He's worked on several Star Wars properties. He's done. He's worked on the Clone Wars. Rogue One, which was good, by the way. I liked Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One's really cool. It's got a good visual style too.
He worked on The Force Awakens. He worked on.
Hold on.
Star Wars Rebels, Siege of Lothal.
Yeah,
and then there's one that's called Star Wars Resistance.
Star Wars Resistance,
but it doesn't have anything.
That must be his.
I've never heard of that.
It's going to be. Here we go. So I looked it up, and we're getting these 3 movies, but to me it's like to go to the very beginning, to jump that far back. I'm really happy they're getting bold and going to new eras, because the Old Republic, that's got its own books and games.
Yeah, the Old Republic is fascinating. Here's the problem. I have a lot of vested interest in the lore of Star Wars, especially the Old Republic. They already have a lore of how the Jedi came about.
Oh, so you're worried they're going to ignore that?
They're going to completely ignore it. I know they are.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
That's why I don't automatically get excited for Star Wars. In fact, I get not upset because frankly I don't care. I get sad. I get sad because there's all of this work that people have already put into it, and it's good. Yeah. Not just good, it's great. Yeah. And then some rando, like 20 years later, goes, "Yeah, none of that matters. It doesn't matter anymore."
Oh my gosh! The director of Rey's movie, she has done one other thing. You know what it is? She worked on the Marvel, the Miss Marvel, the most recent Disney Marvel show. She's got one.
Oh, it's the kid?
Yeah. But, why not hand it to someone who's got more? I don't really understand their choices. It's kind of just random. Like James Mangold, who's got Logan and Ford versus Ferrari and actually 6 other huge movies from years ago, and all of them good. I get that. But sometimes they're just it's almost like they're like this and just pick somebody. It's kind of wild.
I outside of saying taxation is theft, and I fully and firmly believe in the Second Amendment, I am very, very adamant about keeping this podcast non-political.
Yeah.
But I can tell you why.
Yeah.
And I think that statement alone should tell you exactly why.
Yeah.
I'm all for giving people a chance.
But it needs
I really
to
am.
be warranted.
Yes,
the work,
it has to make sense. You're spending hundreds of millions of dollars.
Why not gamble on something that's more likely? Why it shouldn't be a gamble. You should feel confident.
Yeah, the number of times where a movie's come out, it's bombed in the box office, but then the people who made the movie then blame the fans. I'm like, are you kidding?
Oh yeah,
are you serious right now?
Move to attack the fans.
If the guy at McDonald's gives me the wrong meal, it's not my fault for ordering the wrong meal. First of all, his fault.
What makes you think you know what McDonald's is?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, it's just me been eating it and loving it my whole life.
Bro, like,
I'm loving it. I didn't even think of what I just did.
And the same thing with movies. It's like your movie or your TV show flopped. It's not the fans' fault. No. It's not the consumer's fault. Yeah. It's what you made sucks. Yeah. Straight away.
Dude, done. It's really wild because that moment in the theater, you know, when you're watching it, because it's Star Wars and it's epic, and then this was with the last 3 movies, and then like, you know, you go home and that hype is kind of worn down a little bit. You start talking about it with your friends, and you start thinking about the movie more and more. You're like, why did they do? Yeah. Why did they do that? And then years later, I'm like, they just beefed.
Have you watched The Chosen?
They just beefed. What?
Have you watched The Chosen?
Yes. Okay. I've watched the first season, a good amount of it, but I have missed a lot of episodes.
So the reason I ask is because my parents were here for Easter, and we watched, I think, the first 2 seasons of The Chosen with them. And anytime Jesus is doing a miracle, it's rare for me to have emotional responses to media. I think I'm just kind of, I think I'm, what's the word? Kind of burnt out. Like,
so you're talking about that sort of goosebumpy, awesome feeling?
I mean, emotional, deep, welled within my heart feeling. Like, even with someone is just so jubilant that they're just excitedly cheering and they're crying. Also, my eyes will start to wear up. I feel that in my body. And The Chosen isn't this massive Hollywood production with tons of CGI. And that's really, the thing. It's not the intimate way it looks. It's the way it's shot.
And the way it's written.
It's the way it's produced and delivered. Yeah. And I'm not. I don't think I'm biased. I think I'm because there's plenty of other Christian media out there where I'll gain some type of fulfillment from.
I've also watched Christian stuff that was not good.
It was trash. It was like you filmed this on a potato. Yeah. Like, this is not good. This is not good at all.
And the acting,
but The Chosen gives me that emotional feeling towards an event that movies don't give me anymore.
So really that, to me, when I hear that, because I'm on this side of it where like I can watch something that a lot of people be like, well, this is trash. And I'm just like wiping my eyes. I'm like having this emotional experience. Yeah. Like, it sounds to me like really for you, it would be the storytelling and the writing is the key, because really, and that goes back to what you said of this slump, is like the ideas have to be real. And what, I mean, the whole idea behind the Chosen, I mean, that's amazing. So,
what's interesting is that I'm very familiar with the stories of the Bible, but they're able to, they have to take some kind of liberty,
humanize it and make it So
that was the other point I was going to get to, but since you bring it up, it's interesting to actually see visualizations of stories I've heard since I was a kid.
Yes.
Because my imagination is, I think, pretty strong, and I'm able to kind of imagine what that would be like, but to actually see it,
gosh, it's so cool,
is different. But
that's the beauty of movies; they need to be able to show us things that we haven't seen, and when you just start churning out stuff I've seen,
Well, so there's one movie I'm actually excited to take a look at it, and I think it just hit DVD this week. That's 65 Million, I think it's called, with Adam Driver.
Oh yeah, because it's like, how cool is that they're like, hey, this isn't Jurassic Park. This is a new original movie.
Oh, it's just called 65.
Yeah, 65. But like, take something people love, dinosaurs, but give us an original movie. I think I'm excited.
It's interesting. I'm excited to watch it, and partly
I love him too. He's good.
Adam Driver's a cool dude.
He was in the military,
former Marine.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it because I have been listening to Joe Rogan a lot in the recent months, and he's had Randall Carlson on, and what's the other guy's name? I forget the other gentleman's name. He's a geologist, I think he is. But anyway,
what's a geologist?
They have
for the people who don't know what's a geologist.
For everyone else who doesn't know,
yeah.
Basically the study of the earth or of minerals.
Geology.
Let's see.
No, I think geology, but I know that's not it.
Yeah, a geologist is a scientist who studies the earth. Hey, I was
okay, well, perfect.
I was spot on. I just need to trust myself.
Yes.
It's history, nature, materials, and processes.
Yes.
So anyway, they've been going through these podcasts and conversations where they believe that there were more advanced technologies further back than we think.
Oh, yeah.
And this movie 65 kind of taps into that, but much like 65 million years ago is way further back than what they're talking about. But it's just a really interesting premise. Like, okay, well, we didn't start here. We started somewhere else. And for some reason, these advanced humans have just landed on the earth. I'm really interested to see the movie.
Truly, look, and this is a movie that has dinosaurs.
Yeah,
it's got guns.
What an interesting monster. It's like we know what dinosaurs are.
Yeah,
we know what they can and can't do. We know that they're not breathing fire or acid blood or anything like that. But they're still terrifying. Like and takes you back to Jurassic Park. Terrifying.
Yeah,
that movie scared the living daylights out of me.
Kitchen Velociraptor scene is still really scary.
Yep.
And I mean, I think that it just goes to show that if you have that idea, I mean, I can overlook a lot of things if the central idea is cool.
Yeah.
You know, and that's sort of what I've been discovering when I've been doing these deep dives into older movies. Because sure, it may be this like super low budget, no name actor movie, even like some, boom mic enters the frame.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It may have all that stuff going on, but if the idea is something I've never seen before, I'm interested.
Have you ever seen the movie When Worlds Collide?
No.
It's an old sci-fi movie. I'm going to tell you when it came out.
This makes me think of The Day the Earth Stood Still style. Is that what
1951.
It is?
No,
Whoa.
It's nothing like that.
Okay.
1951. This movie, I saw it... I don't want to say by accident, but I saw it. It was on, I know what it was. My dad had recorded it on a VHS that I randomly came across.
Yeah.
So my brother and I went through a kick of finding random home movies and watching them.
Nice.
So any VHS tape we found that had like a handwritten label.
It's exciting.
So you're like, what is it?
Yeah.
Well, this one was When Worlds Collide, which was from 1951.
Oh, y'all had recorded
it?
it?
My dad had.
Yeah.
At some point. I don't know when he did.
Yeah.
But so I'm watching this movie. And it is basically, it's just as the title says, a random planet enters our solar system, just out of nowhere. This planet just comes out of nowhere. And it's on a collision course with Earth.
I already love it.
But the planet is so large that it's actually going to destroy the Earth before it hits. So that planet's going to be fine. Because it's disrupting Earth's gravity. Right.
Whoa.
So
because there's one. Yeah, go ahead.
They've been able to detect this so early.
Yeah.
They are formulating an escape plan. Their escape plan is to take a rocket ship to that other planet.
To go live on
on the other planet.
That's such a cool idea.
Because it's literally basically just going to take the place of Earth.
Yeah. That is.
And that was the movie. And that's what it was. And
I'd be enamored. I'd be so focused.
Ending shot is so good. It's a like the ending shot is where they've landed on the planet.
Yeah.
It's a slow panoramic shot. Here it is right here. And it's just a painting. Let me see if I can actually.
I love the use of paintings.
It's just a
in
painting
older movies
that looks.
Whoa! That's
you kind of see it.
Too.
Yeah, it's just a painting.
That's the new
that
planet.
You would see. Yeah, that you would see in like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And they've got like random sparkles on it and some music over it. And they're like standing arm around each other in the doorway like, we're here.
Like the end of Empire Strikes Back where they're looking out the window at this.
Yeah. And it's like, well, the Earth just died and a lot of people with it, but you guys made it. You know, they're way too happy for people whose planet just exploded.
Bro,
you know,
see that?
But it's a good idea. Yeah. It's not bad. I mean, is it grounded in reality? No,
doesn't matter.
But
it's something different.
An interesting movie. Yeah. Oh man, it was really good.
That's so cool. I need a name again so I can.
When Worlds Collide.
When Worlds Collide.
Yeah. That's a good movie.
That is such a cool premise, and I've only ever, out of all the movies I've seen, I can only think of one that took, instead of an asteroid coming to hit the planet, they instead did something much bigger that's coming to hit the planet. There was a movie called Melancholia, and it's got Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. Is it Kristen or Kirsten?
Kirsten.
Yeah. It always tricks
No,
me.
you got it.
And she but basically she's like getting married or already married, about to get married, but they learned that this huge object, either a planet or moon or something. No, it's the moon. Our moon is going to crash into our Earth. But as it's approaching, the gravity field is changing. So there's these really visually cool scenes where like she's like experiencing gravity, like getting like much things are starting to float and stuff. And I'm like, that's such a cool idea. And I had never heard of it before. And it turns out it was done decades before.
Really?
In this.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's just,
Kirsten Dunst isn't that old.
Wait, hold up. 50s, 60s, 70s. Melancholia came out like in 2000, probably like
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a apocalyptic drama art film.
Yeah. It's definitely an art
Lars
film.
von Trier.
I mean, when I say it's an art film, they'll have like 30-minute segments where like no one's talking.
This lineup is really good. It's Kirsten Dunst,
really
Kiefer Sutherland, Alexander Skarsgård.
Yo, it's wild.
With a few
visually,
others.
I'm telling you, Austin, that movie visually is crazy.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it.
It's neat, but and it approaches it not in a hopeful, let's go to the other planet and be. This is like everyone accepting that they're going to die.
They're going to die, yeah.
And it ends how you think it's going to end.
Oh, that's cool.
But it was really neat, and I just love the fact that when I saw that, it was this idea I'd never seen before, and now you're telling me that it was done even before that whole, like, sort of in principle, that idea was already.
but the tone of the film is completely different. Yeah,
but like it's just cool that you can take something that works and rework it.
Yeah.
And that's what's not really they think they're doing that now by reworking things that work, but really what you're doing is recycling.
You're just redoing it. Like that's kind of one of the things I liked about Drive.
Yeah.
The movie Drive with Ryan Gosling.
That.
Really,
the coolest
really
intro.
good. Yeah, solid. It's such a good movie. And the tropes within it, I've watched a few breakdowns of it, and it's
smart.
It really is. It's without the breakdown, I never would have put those pieces together. But after the breakdown, it makes sense. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But very, very good movie. I can't really think of any others like independent films that I've liked that much. Mm-hmm. But Drive is a very good one.
That director did his other movies are like that, where they're very stylish, and there'll be these sequences with like no talking really, or
the one with Tom Hardy?
Limited talking. Tom Hardy was
You know what I'm talking about? Where he was in the car the entire movie?
Yes. It was his name. Wasn't the name of the movie his name?
I don't think so.
Oh. I'm trying to think.
I'm literally Googling Tom Hardy car movie. Oh, maybe it is. It's Lock.
Lock.
Yeah,
that's
Lock. You're right.
With the E. Lock with the E.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I would say, here's another movie that reminds me a little bit of Melancholia, or like, for instance, Drive is like or I guess what I'm talking about is like art style movies. There was like a movie that is based on the final days of Kurt Cobain's life, but it's actually not. They don't call him Kurt Cobain. But you're watching. You're like, this is supposed to be about Kurt Cobain. But they avoided the name Nirvana, the name Kurt Cobain. But it's this like very artsy, very slow moving, and quiet, but very visually cool, and super emotional movie about like those final days. And he's just like hanging out in his house and just playing music and stuff. I was like, sometimes I feel like we can dial back how much is going on. You can tell something so emotional with not a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I'm going to move away from independent films, but I don't know why I just thought of Last of the Mohicans, but that is such a good movie, and it's completely fictional.
Yeah. But you watch it like, this is true.
It's such a good story. So good. It's such a good story, and it's completely fictional. What happened to movies like that? Yeah,
but a fictional story.
Yeah.
Why you have all of the settings, all of the time periods at your disposal.
Yeah.
And you're not using
Exposal's not a word.
Exposure.
You're just so excited, just making up words. You would make a great you would make a great professor at a college somewhere. But I'd
have to keep moving. College. I can't stop. If I kept moving, and then people are like,
the fraction to the exposure, and then it's like, did you just say what did he say?
And then the other guy's like, he moved so fast.
I think the disposure? Yeah, that's what he said.
They're like, well, he's confident, so it must be real.
Why does he have a British accent all of a sudden?
Yeah, I'm like that movie.
Yeah, right. Then you move the disposure over here, and then you... the flim-flam, the flip-flop.
Geologist.
And then you become a geologist.
Did he say geologist?
Isn't this Psych 101? What is this guy teaching?
Dude, I don't even know sometimes what I'm saying, but I do know that Last of the Mohicans is legitimately in my top 100
Daniel
of all
Day-Lewis
time.
is a great actor.
The music, bro, insane.
It's really good. It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, we're up on an hour. We're a little over an hour, so we're going to cut it there. But that was great. I think we should just leave it there. Yeah. But do you want to leave off with some Willisms, and I'll give some dad advice? What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds really good. Guys, your toenails are long. You forgot? Go ahead. Check right now. Check right now. Reach down and feel your toenails, especially the big toe. They're long and they're gross. So cut them. You know, the girls are thinking it, and you're not. I know I forgot. Right now, mine need cutting. So
I'm moving my toes right now, just checking.
I'm telling you, man, it's serious. You rip your bed sheets and tell me it's not a problem. All right, go ahead.
That was great.
Right.
That was really good.
Dad advice, really?
No, that's Will advice. We're not even going to call them Willisms anymore. That's Will advice.
Oh, my gosh.
Dad advice. All right. You know, I'm going to list this under dad advice, but it's really just advice, period. Just do something without expectations of any kind of expectations.
Like when you stepped outside that night, that was something that was like...
Well, I mean for other people. I mean for other people.
Saying.
Don't do something because you're expecting
that
someone to go...
That sounded like a joke. Like that. When you stepped outside, no, but you know what I mean. They know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Do something nice for someone else without the expectation of even a thank you. Just do it. Just do it. And if that person doesn't say a thing, good. You still did it.
Random acts of kindness.
Yes.
A nice rack.
You will find... What's that? You know what? Never mind. You will find that you'll have a deeper appreciation for the things that you do for other people when you have no expectations at all of how they might react, good or bad. Just do something nice for someone, no expectations of anything. And I'm going to leave it off there.
I love it.
Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. If you're a cyclist and you now are upset with what I said, I don't care.
Comments.
Comment below. Tell me how much you're upset with me. And tell me about this spandex sex suits. How much are they? Where do you find them?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend. Thanks for watching.
He's asking for me.
Like, subscribe. I'm asking for Will. Thanks for watching.
See you later.